Now, you guys may have already seen the video reports stating that James Comey, I don't know how to say it, was taken into custody, detained, arrested by not Social Security, the Secret Service. Every time I see SS, I think Social Security, but it's the Secret Service. And it would be funny if the Social Security could arrest people. One of the big questions being, why was he not in handcuffs? And someone saying, or a comment that I read, it says, it's crazy to think that you can be arrested in America over a meme. I think what's important here is understanding the intent, the intended purpose, the threat, and against whom. If, for instance, it said 8648, well, doesn't really mean much now, does it? Now, granted, there could be an athlete out there wearing number 48 on their jersey within context, yada, yada, yada. But 8647, well, it's kind of like Trump asks of Brett Baer. And you know what the N-word is, right?
Stronger. To a point where the next one's going to be, you know what? The N-word. You know what the N-word is, right?
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
I figured you'd want to clean that up. No, it's the N-word. That's a very nasty word, right? In a lot of ways. The N-word used in a nuclear sense, that's the worst thing that can happen.
I mean, Peter Doocy jumps on Fox News and he says, within about 30 seconds, you can Google and figure out what 86 means.
This very serious topic is that James Comey wants us to believe, and we have this photo here, that he saw a cool, these are his words, cool shell formation on my beach walk. And the cool shell formation, according to the person who used to be in charge of the FBI, shows shells in the shape of 8647. 86 is common restaurant lingo, of course, for denying service to somebody. But after about 30 seconds of Googling, you can see that a good chunk of people all around the world also associate 86 with meaning to kill somebody. An old mob saying, basically, you take somebody 8 miles outside of town and then you put them 6 feet in the ground. James Comey, again, a guy who has prosecuted mobsters, apparently had no idea that this was a thing. He deleted the original post with the cool shell formation, and he writes, I posted a picture earlier of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, and I took the post down. That's not enough for Donald Trump Jr. He says, just James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships. Demented. And Kash Patel, as we were coming to air, the new FBI director, one of Comey's successors, is saying that he is in touch with the Secret Service, and they are going to be sending Secret Service agents to talk to...
Having been former FBI director, well, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it may be going to jail, which seems to be a reoccurring theme here from some of the headlines and thumbnails and titles that I've been seeing here recently. Trump deranged James Comey is going to jail. It gets worse. It got worse for Fani Willis. New law could strip her license and cost her millions. The end. No implication of jail time on that one, though. Doing this, okay, never do these things on YouTube. You will get banned. We should talk about that a little bit more. The quickest way to make $10,000 as a creator from the David Boland. And here are two examples of both. However, it's a clever play on words. Some would say clickbait. Some would say whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think that any of these people are actually going to jail in the sense of immediately. Maybe in the future, which at any point we could say anybody's going to go to jail, or at least speculate upon that. But doing these things will get you banned. So, just putting it out there. The quickest way to make $10,000 as a creator, doing these things as well. And you can get the bag, you can secure the bag with clickbait for sure. I mean, it works. There's a give and take to the situation, but to get hundreds of thousands of views off of a misleading title and thumbnail of an event that could likely occur but hasn't actually happened yet can produce some substantial turnaround. And look, to each their own. Like I said, I teach people how to make YouTube channels. I teach people how to make money on YouTube. I coach, I consult, I train. I'm not going to pretend to be oblivious to the strategies that work. How long they work, that's another question. And then the repercussions from doing these things later on down the road, again, you'll have to cross that bridge when you get to it. However, in the case of former President Joe Biden, they played that game. They lied to people. They tricked and deceived. It produced more than likely millions of dollars for those involved. And now they have to deal with the repercussions of such as this truth is now being brought to light. But I do have at least one instance here to share with you of someone going to jail. And even though I thought at first this was a green screen, but it's not. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I thought at first this was a green screen and it's like, no, I think it is. I think you can see the way it moves behind Trump. It's not him and Pam Bondi walking out. Like they're looking at something. This is doctored up. Okay. The internet, you got to be careful with this because AI is getting really good nowadays. And I just saw one earlier this morning of a woman crying in a doctor's office because they said she has to force her infant child to take gender affirming medication or else they will call child protective services on her. And I don't think it was real. I think it was an exaggeration, but it was to prove a point. But some people don't know. They're not clever enough to pick up on that. So it can take a toll on general society and overall. So there's that. But, movies have ultimately been ruined for me now as I see this here. And it's just like, wow, this is all it took to pull this off. They didn't even green screen the whole room. So there's that. But here's a video clip of Secret Service personally escorting Comey to the DC office. I don't even know if this is actually true. I don't even know if this is actually true. This just could be a video clip of him riding around in the front seat of a black Ford Explorer. Like, I don't know. So that's why I'm not going to say that he's going to jail. Okay. But I will show you someone who is likely going to go to jail, or at least I will read this to you because I know I can't show it to you because YouTube would consider this violence. And for those of you getting involved in this or wanting to get involved in this, I would encourage you to brush up on the community guidelines for YouTube, and at the very least, but more so, you should reach out and contact me because there's a lot of ways to win, but there's also a lot of ways to lose. And a lot of people won't know or don't know the ways to lose until they actually lose. And then it's like, I wish somebody would have told me. It's not that hard. It's easier than most people think. Trust me. I actually posted a video last night on a completely separate channel. It's a brand new channel. And the reason is because I want that channel to develop and attract its own audience. And so this channel here has you guys as an audience, and you fall into a specific niche category for the algorithm. And then I got a car channel that has a completely separate, different audience. And I'll see if I can pull it up. I'm pull it up and show it to you guys because it's interesting, the audience that's pulled in. Let's see here if I can get this thing to move off the screen. And so we see Brink of Speed, Drag Times, Rick Corvette Conti, New Horizon C8, Jesse Iwuji, he's a NASCAR driver, Crow in the Vet, Paragon Performance, late model racecraft, LMR, front seat driver, LHT Performance, horsepower obsessed, Des driven, Speed Phenom, Jeff at Zippity's Garage, Corvette World. For those of you, if you know, you know, I bought a new to me Corvette Z06 the other day. And so it's interesting to see these channels pop up in the channels your audience watches and in the videos your audience watches. They're all car related. And so it's really important that my car channel has car audience. And it's important that I do that, because if I try to do it with YouTube in the niche category that they've put this channel in, it wouldn't be effective. It wouldn't work. And it was relatively simple and easy to get this channel up to the subscriber count and monetization level. Really not that hard, really. And so it'll be monetized. It's in the application process. I started a new LLC for it. So I'm waiting for it to be registered as a new LLC. That should be done this coming week. Once that LLC is done being created, I will then apply for monetization under that LLC for this channel, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And this channel will begin making money. And it looks like it's only been like April 30th. So, it's like 2 weeks to get in the money, 2 weeks to be in the money. Okay. To get the views and the subs and all that good stuff. And so it's actually easier now than ever. And this channel is 100% proof of that. The channel really is, as I'm editing this video to bring it to you guys, I think I remembered what I forgot. You'll see here in just a second. This is Kevin from the future. What I wanted to say was the channel really, as I go into Tactical Toolbox, that's what it was. So Tactical Toolbox created his main channel, then he created his car channels, but the main channel was actually created. It was, he said the story he told was he made a deal with his wife that he could start this channel, but he wasn't allowed to spend any money, or maybe he couldn't spend more than $100 to start the channel. Well, the channel has since grown to like almost 1 million subscribers. He's gotten amazing, deals, and he's probably made a fair amount of money off of something he thought was just going to be a fun little hobby that he couldn't spend any money on. And the fact that he couldn't spend any money on it actually made him more creative. And some of the tips and tricks and strategies that he shared on how he created the videos and got the shots that he got was really inspiring. So my car channel is really and truly, it will be monetized, but the purpose of it is for me. It's for fun. It's for like a mental break and vacation. It's for me to be more creative, which is actually how I got started on YouTube, by being creative and not so much a talking head discussing current events and news and politics, money, finance, investing, and economy. But really and truly, it's like, well, if I can get it to cover the gas and car washes, I'm okay with that. And because I enjoy driving the car and I really like having it detailed, we got a mobile detail company that comes and takes care of that and handles that. So if I could get the channel to at least cover those expenses, then it's just like, I was going to buy the car anyway. Well, this just makes it even more fun, because now as I enjoy the car, I can create content about the car, share it with other people interested in that car or other cars, while it pays for my fuel and keeping it clean. And that would be a win in my book. Who knows though? From there, it could grow to something bigger and pay even more, but that is not my focus. My focus is to create really good videos and have great conversations and make it entertaining and visually appealing, and just disconnect myself. And the cherry on top, the cake and ice cream, cake and eat it too. The added upside, perk, and benefit would be increased earnings and revenue from it, which it now is easier to do because it's monetized. So every view will earn money. Every video will earn something. If it wasn't monetized and I did want it to make money, then there are many other ways to skin that cat. YouTube ad revenue is not the only way to make money, and shouldn't be, really. If your goal is to make money on YouTube from the start, then that should be the strategy put in place to make sure that happens, which is what, one of the things that I discuss with people in consulting and coaching and training. So yeah, if you guys are interested, there's a link down below if you want to reach out and contact me directly. Fun money. It's odd because there's a guy I used to watch. His name, I don't remember his name, but his channel was Tactical Toolbox. And then he eventually made a channel for his cars. Tactical Toolbox was a firearms channel. Then he made a channel for his cars, which he had a Camaro ZL1, which I did too at the time. And he bought a Civic Type R, which I had also. And he started creating content for the cars with as much interest, like enthusiasm and passion as he did for his firearms. But when you do that, I think it automatically attracts a great audience if you give them a great title and thumbnail. And the ones we showed, some of the ones I showed you earlier in the beginning, if you use the tricks to get the quick 10K to pull people in with clickbait and misleading titles and headlines, well, maybe you might make a quick bag, but you might get a quick payday, but it's not going to be sustainable. And then ultimately it'll disappear. Like that money printer will be turned off. So there's that. And so I made a video last night for a completely separate channel. There's a completely separate channel for a specific audience. And yeah, I had to go back and replay the video where I was because I honestly completely forgot where I was going with this story. But I feel like it's just down the path of explaining to people, folks like you, how this works and how I go about doing it and the things that I'm doing behind the scenes and the changes that I'm making and ultimately the improvements and the diversification and expanding. And so the video I made last night goes into great detail on why YouTube is such a great investment and how I made 8 videos. That was number 8. That was my 8th video I made yesterday. And I'll share with you guys the results of these channels. And if you want to know more, again, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me directly. Links down below. And what I know is, after having done this so much and so long, is what is cool with YouTube and what is not. And so if I were to show you exactly what happened here, YouTube will flag it as violence and it won't make any money from YouTube. So I would prefer to get paid for the work that I do. And so if you want to watch it, then go over to X, check out Fearbuck, or just type in Antonio Brown and you'll see this. But as far as anyone being arrested and going to jail, well, this here says Antonio Brown was just arrested at Aiden Ross's boxing event after allegedly pulling out a firearm and firing shots while trying to fight off people who were trying to steal his chain. Yeah, so there's that. Hey guys, check out our sponsor down below, Chapter, for free Medicare help, free Medicare consultation. Maybe you can save some money. They've saved other people money already, on average $1,000, just by giving them a call and asking them, hey, I saw you on Kevin's channel and he said that you can help me navigate 24+ thousand Medicare plans and help me choose the best option. One that could save me money, improve my coverage, if not both. The link is in the description. I'll keep it in the pinned comment. You can call them at 270-467-2426. So give them a ring. Tell them Kevin sent you and let me know, were they able to save you any money? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It helps. Michelle and I are about to head out. We're going to hit the beach and hang out with some friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys later on. Maybe on this channel, maybe on another, maybe over on Patreon. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your weekend.